Hi everyone, welcome to lesson 9. I just wanted to give a brief little overview on what we're going to be doing this week. First off, if you hear my daughter is playing with her baby dolls in the background and reading books to them, so if you hear that, that's what that is. Hopefully it's not too distracting. So we're doing linear equations with fractions and percent applications this week. Here's our activity calendar. I like to start by looking at this every week. And hopefully you guys already have because it's Tuesday. But as you can see, I don't know that it's right to call this an easier week, but it's at least a less demanding week because we don't have a bunch of extra stuff to turn in. Just the normal assignments pretty much. So we have exercise part A and quiz A that are due midweek, so that would be tomorrow night. And then we have all the rest of these assignments are due at the end of the week. Okay, and make sure that you are still continuing to read your financial book for the book review. That will be due in week 12. We're not turning in anything for it this week, but that will be due in week 12. By that I mean the final copy of your book review, book report, will be due in week 12. You should not wait till week 12 to start the book review. In the past, most everyone that I've seen that does that either gets rushed and isn't able to do a good job, or they don't even get it finished in time to turn it in. So please get started on that early. I can't emphasize enough how important that is for you to get started early. If you're not done reading your book yet, that's fine. Go ahead and start on your book report anyway, though. You can write about the stuff that you have read so far, and then when you finish reading, or as you finish reading, you can finish writing about those other parts as well. Okay, please make sure you get started on that early so that you get it turned in on time. The reason I emphasize so much about getting this one in on time, I'd like you to get all your assignments in on time, but this one is especially important because it's at week 12. That's right before the end of the semester, and so there's really not much time to do any late work there. It takes me a little while to grade these, and so just because there's 40 of you or 40 something of you, and each of them is like a 4-page paper or 3-page paper or something, and so I go through and read them all and grade them all, and it takes me a while. But my point is, I'll just get to it quickly here, is that there really is not much time to turn in any late work for the financial book review. So please make sure you get that done on time and get started on it early. Just a quick reminder about the attendance policy for your Thursday night gatherings. I won't read it to you because I've read it to you several times and you guys probably already know it and are like, yeah, Brother Michelson, we know. But I just feel the need to remind everybody each week just so that you remember. And okay, let's take a look at some of the exercises. So we'll look at exercise part A first. So this looks familiar, right? I hope it does. You've seen something like this in the last few assignments that you've done, where it's asking you to find the area of the shaded region. And so what you do is you find the area of the circle, the whole entire circle, and then you find the area of just this white rectangle, and you subtract the area of the white rectangle from the area of the entire circle, and that gives you just the shaded portion. So you're welcome to continue using the formula sheet from exam 2. You can use that on exam 3 and on the final exam as well. And all these quizzes, you're welcome to use it on those. All right, so let's do something here real quick. I just want to do one of these top ones with you because I know that they confuse people sometimes. Sometimes the problems that are like word problems can be confusing because you're not sure how to set them up. So 45 is 12 more than 3 times a number. So in a question like this, I kind of like to start backwards. So I have this number here. Okay, we'll call that x because we don't know what it is. And the number, so we're saying 45, so equals 45. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so x, and then like we're going to manipulate it so that it equals 45. Okay, so x times 3, right? So 3 times this number. So we can say 3x, 3 times this number, and then 45 is 12 more than 3 times that number. So 3 times that number plus 12 equals 45. Let's see if that makes sense. 3 times x, our number, plus 12 equals 45. Do you guys see how that works? And so now what we can do is solve for x. So we do minus 12 on both sides. That gives us 3x equals 33, right? Divided by 3 on both sides. X equals 11. So what is the number? 11. So hopefully you guys kind of saw how I did that there. Let me just erase some of this stuff. And feel free to go back and look at that again if you need to. But you'll see these kinds of problems a few more times throughout, as we're getting closer to the next exam and such. But 2 numbers, so I'm going to do this one now. Whoops. I'm going to do this one now. Okay. So 2 numbers add to 251, and the second is 41 bigger than the first. What are the 2 numbers? Okay, so we have okay, sorry, I just had a little issue with my computer there for a second. So again, I'm doing this one, number 3. 2 numbers add to 251. The second is 41 bigger than the first. What are the 2 numbers? So first we can just say the 2 numbers, we don't know what they are, so we'll say A plus B equals 251. Okay, the second number is 41 bigger than the first. So here's our second number, okay? So we're going to say B equals 41 bigger than the first. So the first, A, plus 41, right? So B equals A plus 41. Now we can substitute this in for B. So let's get rid of our B, and we'll just say A plus 41. If I can write that. Okay, so now we have A plus 41. We can rewrite that as 2A, right? A plus A is 2 times A, plus 41 equals 251. And now we just solve for A. So minus 41 on both sides. And that gives us with 2A equals 210, right? So, oops. So I'm dividing by 2 both sides. That gives us A equals 105. So hopefully 105 is the answer. That should be the answer. Now that's A. That's just A. It says, what are the 2 numbers? Okay, well we found A. A is 105. Now how can we find B? Well, we have this, remember? We have this formula for B. We know that B equals A plus 41. So we can say B equals, substitute that in for A. B equals 105 plus 41. So it equals, what is that, 146, right? Now we have the 2 numbers. So I hope that helps on those problems. Problems like these ones where they give you most of the variables. So if you look on your formula sheet from exam 2, and it'll have this formula for a trapezoid. And it'll have all these variables in it, right? And you'll just plug in all the variables, except for this one, because you don't know what it is. Then you just solve for that one. Once you plug in those other three, you'll have everything will have numbers except for little b. And then you just solve for that, okay? This stuff is just more solving. So you're getting lots of solving practice, okay? So let's look at exercise B here. Okay, here's another one of those kinds of problems that we went over. Another one of these ones that we went over. Some more solving. 85 is what percent of 39? In case you guys have forgotten or for whatever reason just don't know. So if you say 10 divided by 100 equals 10%, right? Okay, most people can get that pretty good. Or we could drop off a 0, say 1 divided by 10 is also 10%. Okay, so that means 1 is 10% of 10. We want to know 85 is what percent of 39. So we're going to put 85 up on top and 39 down on the bottom. Okay, I don't know what that is, but that's how you do it. That's how you'd set it up. So you'd say 85 divided by 39. It's going to be over 100%, right? We know that because 39 over 39 would be 100%. So it looks like it'll be closer to 200%, but not quite. Because, well, let's see. Maybe it would... no, I think it will not quite be... No, it will be over 200%, I think. Well, anyways, I'll let you guys solve that. But that's how you set that up. When it's asking you this number is what percent of that number. So, again, think of 1 over 10. 1 is 10% of 10. So 85 is whatever percent of 39, which goes on the bottom. So just plug that in your calculator. Whatever it spits out is going to be a decimal, right? So if you plug this in your calculator, right, 1 divided by 10, it's going to say equals 0.1. And then to convert that to a percent, like we did earlier in the semester, just move it 2 places, like that. If I can get, there we go. So now it's 10%. Okay, so whatever this equals, move the decimal 2 places, and that's what it will be. Okay. All right, let's just see here. And all right, let's look at one more thing. Oh, look, another one of these problems, right? Just like you've seen several times already, so they're not going away. Just remember, find the area of the rectangle, subtract the area of the circle, and you've got the area of the shaded region. Up here, more problems that you're going to solve, and solve for the specified variable in these ones. So these ones have multiple variables. Like, even look at this one especially. It has 4 variables. There's not even a number in there. It's asking you to solve for p. And so p is going to equal something with a bunch of the other letters in it. So just basically you're rearranging it so it's p equals something. P is on one side, everything else is on the other side. Okay, and this one, we've already went over one of those. So I think we've gone over pretty much everything on these. Lots of solving. So make sure you get your order of operations right. And if you have any questions on any of the material from this week, please don't hesitate to send me an email or connect with a tutor. And if you have any late work that needs to be turned in, please get that turned in. If any of you have to make up an exam, please make sure you meet with a tutor and get that made up. And have a good week.